So, hello everybody. Welcome to the MCTDH-X community and congratulations for your choice. This is the very first video of a series of video tutorials on how to download, install and use pretty much MCTDH-X in order to simulate fascinating problems of the physical and quantum world. So I will be showing you the very few and easy steps that you need to take in order to download and install MCTDH-X on your machine. First things first, what do you need? Well, you need either a connection and a browser. You need a computer that runs Linux. I do it on Ubuntu, and I do recommend Ubuntu. However, in other distros, it works as well. And you also need to know how to run command lines on the bash on a terminal. Not very advanced things though. Just and especially for this tutorial, just very a couple of lines that we will be copying and pasting. And you also need some basic knowledge of quantum mechanics because actually this is what the program does. It simulates the behavior of many quantum mechanical interacting particles. So hands-on, let's go and do our first steps. You go to the MCTDH-X, so the webpage ultracall.org, and from the home page you click on forum. You will be seeing these guys with these options here, these categories where things are discussed, and we click on software. Okay, so at that point, I'm sorry, you have to log in. So somewhere about here, if you do not have your credentials, then you need to sign up and then log in. So click on repository and then repository and download. And at that point you will be arriving at the page that we are interested in. So this is actually the URL address where the repository of the program is, where the program is located, and a couple of commands in front of that. So just click the whole line and copy it, and then you need to open a terminal. If you don't have a terminal open, then you just can type Ctrl Alt and T simultaneously, and a terminal, GNOME terminal appears. And then you have to choose a path where you want your installation. So this should not be the root, and also you do not need super user privileges in order to install the program. So just some ordinary any directory works, and then you copy and paste this command. But let's say before that, if you haven't seen that before, this HG is a command on a program called Mercurial. And Mercurial is a program that manages different versions of the same software. It's not necessary though. It's highly recommended because it will be easy for you to download future versions and not having to download the same files over and over. So in order to I have to type the whole thing. That should apt-get install Mercurial, which is the package that you want for this step. So it is already in my computer, but however it's very lightweight and it's open source. Once you have the Mercurial, then you go back, copy and paste. You paste again the command, and then so it connects to this server, and it asks for a username and a password that you will be getting from this webpage. So muser is for the user, and the password will also be there. Now I'm not gonna do the whole process. I interrupt, but once you type the password here and type enter, then you will see that things are being downloaded. So actually you're having an exact clone, exact copy of the software there. So once you've downloaded the whole thing, then you will be having a new directory where many files are there inside. So what we need for the time being is the installer, which is a bash script install mctdhx.sh, which is a simple script which that is executable. You can execute simply by typing /install, tab to autocomplete, and enter. So you see the logo, and then you see three options. So the first two options. You're interested in those if you want to install on cluster or server, and the third one is what you'll be needing for your personal computer. So some files are being extracted and other files are being copied, while some lateral auxiliary software like software to visualize the data that MCTDH-X calculates for you. And these guys will be also installed. So it's gonna take five or less minutes. So it is raining lines on my terminal, which is a good thing. All right, so the installation is finished, and in order to make the alliances and the links working, we have to source the bus profile, which bus profile links actually to another. You don't have to source that, but I'm just gonna show you that there is a new file on your computer called MCTDH-XRC, where a series of aliases as well as commands of the new software has been stored. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do anything at that stage. Just for your confirmation, you can type alias capital MCTDH-X, and then you will see that this guy corresponds to MCTDH-X underscore GCC. GCC meaning that the installer has used the GNU compilers to compile the program. So MCTDH-X actually runs and it needs Fortran compilers, and it needs also MPI wrappers. So, which brings me to my last point. In case of a trouble, you should always go and check if you have installed. Most probably you do, but sometimes there are some conflicts of versions. So you should see which version, if you have, and what version you have of the GCC or GFortran compilers. So it's there, at least I have it, and you should do the same thing, okay, for your MPI wrappers, Fortran wrappers. So sometimes, especially with newer versions of Ubuntu, these kind of problems appear. So you should, if you see an MPI related error, then you could reinstall the executable like that, or reinstall your Fortran compilers like that. So there you go, you have MCTDH-X on your machine. Congratulations. Now it's time to begin the fun and do some calculations on our next video tutorial. So until then, enjoy MCTDH-X.